Welcome to Rockville 2014. Backstage in the artist area, hanging out, getting a cool breeze off the river right here. I'm Matt Pinfield from FanPass.tv, and I'm hanging out with a great band who I actually went to see last night because they played the pre-party. And I'm hanging out with Rich and Julian right now from Rev Theory. Guys, what's up?
Well, how you doing?
You're
buddy?
a great man. I loved the show last night.
Thank you.
You're a great front man. I really enjoyed seeing you perform. First of all, because your voice was strong and you were powerful. Come in, and I'm like, now that's what I'm talking about.
That means a lot.
I mean, it was great.
That means a lot coming
you
from
know,
you,
you know
buddy.
what I mean? It was
appreciate
fantastic. I loved the show. I got there and I was just like, because, I flew in from Jersey and New York, and I was like, my thing was to see, I was already tired,
Right.
and we were on site all day getting ready here, and then I went to your show and I got pumped up again.
That's
I really
awesome.
did. It
I'm
was
glad,
great
man.
set for you guys.
Yeah, we were. We got into town earlier in the week, and we started rehearsing, and we actually played for like 4.5 hours earlier in the day. And
You rehearsed all day, right?
Yeah, all day long. And at the end of it, I looked at him. I'm like, man, I'm freaking exhausted. And then once we got to the pre-party, and like we looked inside, and it was jammed, and the energy. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is great. I love big festivals. It's fun.
Yeah.
But there's something about like a dark, dirty, sweaty
Club.
You know
Yeah,
what
there
I
is,
mean? You
yeah.
just feel that
It's
vibe.
full. You
Yeah,
love it.
it's full.
I loved it, man. It was a great time. And I was standing on the side of the stage, like close to where you get in, but in full view, you guys. And it was just a killer set. I
Thank
loved
you,
it, man. It was great. And it's interesting because you and I both grew up in Jersey. So you got to
Jersey.
talk about that. I mean, you're Bergen County, right?
Bergen County guy.
It's
Yes.
amazing. But you basically formed a band in New York, but you did you go to school in Massachusetts? Is that
Yeah,
right?
Jules and I and Dave, our drummer, we actually went to school in North Andover, Mass. We started.
What was
playing-
it, a college? Or
Yeah, it was college. Yeah, it was a college.
Yeah.
Jules actually was a Division I hockey player.
No shit.
I played.
It was a past life.
Yeah, it was a past life. I played football there. We both got hurt. Our coaches couldn't take away our athletic scholarships,
Yeah.
so they were really pissed off about that. But then we decided that we were going to be on a band scholarship for the next 3
Yeah.
years. So we started playing music there, and it was a lot of fun. And then we decided after we graduated that
Yeah.
we wanted to give it a go, and we moved down to New York, and that's where we met our managers, and we started cutting our teeth. in
That's
New
a
York.
really cool story. Now, so did you play at all like with the minors or the majors for a while?
I
Or?
played junior hockey in Canada
Yeah, it's
until I was
great.
like 20, and then
Yeah,
transitioned to college.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
That's cool. And you play football.
Yeah.
Were some of the majors looking at you at that time?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Were some of the pros looking at you at the time?
No. I was Division II. I was
Oh,
like
yeah.
the smallest guy on my team.
Yeah.
I
I still wouldn't fuck with
Imagine that, right?
I wouldn't mess with you.
Yeah.
He's the smallest.
I was one of the smallest guys on my team.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
So
So,
no-
you know what I mean? I've seen you. You know what I mean? But that's great, though. But in fact, you get hurt. I've heard some of the craziest stories and great stories about how people will get hurt in sports that end up forming bands because
Yeah.
they go to music because, shit, what am I going to do?
Well, you know what it is also? Like when you're in sports, there's like camaraderie, like
Yeah.
about the locker room. And being in a band, it's the same thing. It's
Yeah,
camaraderie.
it's a gang.
It's a gang.
You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah,
gang.
exactly.
It's supposed to be a
bunch
gang.
of
I love
pirates,
it.
a bunch of pirates raping and pillaging towns. And,
Yes.
that's pretty much just like that, raping and pillaging.
Yes, fantastic.
And then take
yeah.
the rape out,
Yeah.
just pillaging.
Yeah, that's it. But let's talk about the fact that you guys, the guys are from all over. Like now, Julia, do you live in LA or do you live in Boston?
I'm in LA now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm from
What
Vancouver.
part of LA?
I'm in West LA. So
Okay.
Close to Santa
Oh,
Monica.
cool, very cool. And
Yeah.
you're down in
Fort
Fort
Lauderdale.
Lauderdale.
Yep.
Hey, I'm all for the good weather, let me just tell you. I mean, being from Jersey, this was the worst winter Jersey, New
Ever.
York City has had ever.
My parents, I was talking to my parents, and they just sounded so miserable every time I spoke to them.
You know what, guys, 2 nights ago, I want to tell you, last week, 80 degrees one day. The next morning I walk out, and there's snow on my car.
Yeah.
I'm like, it went from 80 to snow on the
Not
car.
good, bud. Not
And
good.
then the night before I left here, I'm laying on the couch. I got the window cracked a little bit, and the wind is like, it's like blowing like
Yeah.
the Wizard of Oz. I
No.
thought the house was gonna start spinning, man.
I wake up every day with palm trees and blue skies. Palm trees and
What's
blue
not
skies.
to love? Like in Florida, where we are right
Right.
now, Jacksonville's a good town.
Great
really
town,
is.
great town.
But I gotta say, Fort Lauderdale, I love that place. I lived in LA. I lived in like the village, like near Sherman Oaks Valley Village area, and in Burbank.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love all my friends in Jersey. I love New York City, but the weather, we gotta cut us a break, man. After Sandy, I'm telling you.
Take a hike, buddy. You gotta get out of there.
I know, it's time.
Time for a change.
It's time for a weather change. Believe me, I can't wait. It's still cold there.
Yeah,
I just don't know what's going on. So, guys, tell me, and you also have Paul Phillips now, who's, we all love Paul. was a founding member of Puddle of Mud and
Yep.
worked with the band for so many years. Great guitar player. So tell me how you got together with Paul. Do you know him from town here, or
No, we
Rev do shows with Paul?
we played a lot of shows with Paul. When he was an operator, then when he was back in Puddle.
Yeah.
And then I was doing some writing on the side with Paul, and we just hung out a lot and broke down. And it was when we were looking for a new player, and he actually called us up, and he's like, hey man, he's like, I'm just gonna throw this out there. He's like, I know you guys got some shows going on. He's like, I'd love to come out and play. And so
Yeah.
I called up Jules, and
Yeah.
Jules was just like, yeah, man, it's a good fit. And
Yeah.
he's just a rock star on stage. He plays great.
He's a great
It's a
player.
good
He's
fit.
written some great stuff. He's a
Yep.
good guy.
Really good
We
guy.
love Paul, so I'm glad to have him up there
Really
with you.
good guy.
Hell yeah.
You had Damon Starkey up there with you last night.
Yep,
yeah.
we did.
Scooter
Scooter,
from Coles.
yeah,
Scooter from
yeah.
Cole.
Doing the Hunger Strike with you. It was
Yeah.
a fun night doing them bones. I love the covers. I love the originals. I love doing those covers and went back to two of your great tracks
you,
afterwards.
man. I
It was
appreciate
a
it.
great night, man. In fact, for me, I'm glad. I got to say, I could have watched you guys for another half an hour. And I watched you go on stage, and it seemed like it just flew to me.
It did, and that's when we came down to the last two songs, I like looked back and I was like, wow, we're done.
Yeah.
And I was like looking over at everybody. I'm like, we have any more songs we can play?
Yeah.
And Paul's like, I don't know anymore. He's like, 'cause he just learned this week. He
Yeah,
just learned the
exactly.
songs. We're like, oh, all right.
It's amazing.
Well, next time, we'll get
We'll
it next
have to do
time.
it again, which is great,
Yeah.
man. I love you got the Middle Class Rut shirt on.
hell yeah.
Great two-piece, man.
Amazing, bro.
I saw them opening for Alice in Chains years ago, and we were doing some shows, and sometimes it's interesting vocals, and sometimes sound like Jane's a little, it's all
totally,
over, and I
yeah.
love it. Jane's Addiction, I'm talking about.
Right.
And I love that song, New Low.
Oh, it's so incredible.
And they're playing today, right? Or did I
They
get
They played already. They had a great
played.
Of course,
set.
I was back here doing interviews
Yeah,
with somebody.
interviews.
That's the truth about it. I love these festivals, but I listen to hang out and talk to my friends and do interviews, and I love that because I love talking to musicians that we care about and doing it for our fans of the band. That's hence fanpass.tv. That's what it's about. It's
Absolutely.
about fans and giving them access. But, you know how it is when you're working a show. You don't always get to see the shows.
Well,
Tell
that's
those
the same
guys
thing
I
for us,
said
too.
hello, okay? You got to do that.
will
But
do.
guys, after seeing you guys the other night, I'm really hoping you guys are going to start doing more shows and make a new record. What's going to happen?
Absolutely. We're halfway
Yeah.
through a record right now, so we'll have
Okay.
something out by the fall. Hopefully.
Julian, that's cool, man. Yeah, because I loved it. I'm really looking for some new material from you guys.
We're excited.
excited.
We're
It's cool.
excited. We're
So we'll
excited.
have to hang again.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming down and hanging
No
out with us
problem,
today,
man.
man.
Thank you, man.
Awesome,
It's a
Rich.
pleasure,
It was a
man.
pleasure.
Fantastic.
Julian,
Thank you guys.
yeah, man, it's fantastic.
Fanpass.tv, right?
That's right, you got
Very
it.
cool.
So you see,
Thank
you
guys.
corrected yourself, so you did it
I
right
did.
for Thank you for doing that for me. And it's welcome to Rockville 2014 Rev Theory.